All right, good day, students. So we are looking at the section of the notes that deals with finding the missing quantity in a given ratio. And in order to find the missing quantity in a different ratio, you will have to try to remember how to solve equations. Well, even if you don't remember, we'll have to recap that, because if you can't solve simple equations, then it's going to be a problem in order to find the missing quantity in a given ratio. All right, so I don't know if you remember in grade 7 when you did solving equations. For instance, if you had 40x is equal to 80, in order to solve this equation, it means that you need to find what x is. And by finding what x is, you're going to leave x on the left-hand side or on one side of the equation by itself. In order to do that, you have to get rid of 40 on the left-hand side of the equation. So 40 must go to the right-hand side. So because 40x means 40 multiplied by x, in order to get rid of 40, you must do the opposite operation. So opposite of multiplication is division. So the 40 is what you want to get rid of. So you are going to divide both sides of the equation by 40, which is the opposite of multiplication. All right, so each side of the equal sign divided by 40. 40 will cancel 40 one time, leaving x on the left-hand side. 40 into 80 is 2 times, so x is equal to 2. Let's look at another example. Let's say you had 35. X is equal to 70. All right, so because we are multiplying 35 by x, then in order to get rid of 35 on the left-hand side, you have to now divide both sides of the equation by 35. All right, so remember, we are dividing because division is the opposite of multiplication, and multiplication is what is being done here, where it says 35 times x. So to get rid of 35, you must do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So we are dividing 35 on both sides. 35 into itself is 1 time, so they will cancel, leaving x on the left-hand side is equal to 2. All right, so you have to know that before finding the missing quantity in a given ratio. Okay, when we say finding the missing quantity in a given ratio, we mean, for instance, if you have two ratios, x to 6 is equal to 3 to 5, the missing quantity is x. So we need to know what x is by solving the equation. So the first thing we're going to do is to write the ratios as fractions. So x to 6 is x over 6 is equal to 3 over 5. Whenever we have two fractions on both sides of the equal sign, we cross multiply. And by cross multiplying, we mean 6 multiplied by 3 equals 5 multiplied by x. So we are doing 5 multiplied by x is 5x equals 6 multiplied by 3 is 18. So 5x is equal to 18. So here now is what I was explaining earlier, how to solve. So in order to get rid of 5, we have to divide 5 on both sides of the equation. Right? So this side divided by 5 and the right-hand side divided by 5. 5 will cancel, leaving only x. So x is equal to 18 divided by 5, which is 3.6 as a decimal. What I realize is that persons don't know how to put 18 over 5 in the calculator and find the decimal equivalent. Remember, 18 over 5 is the same thing as 18 divided by 5. So put that in the calculator, give your answer to one decimal place if you get a decimal. All right, let's just look at another example. So another example is 2 to 3 is equal to x to 5. Again, we write it as a fraction, so 2 over 3 equals x over 5. Cross multiplying, we will get 3x equals 2 times 5. 3x is equal to 10 is what we get. If 3x is equal to 10, what is x? X is found by dividing both sides by 3. When we do that, the 3 will cancel, leaving only x. So x is equal to 10 over 3, which as a decimal is 3.3. All right. Now, that is all for that particular concept. It's quite easy. Please remember, when you're given the ratio, write it in fraction form, cross multiply, solve the equation for the unknown. I know that I only gave examples with x, but the unknown really can be represented by any letter, M, P, Q, T, whatever. All right? But it's the same procedure to find the value of the unknown.